concrete company in San Antonio, Texas. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. So straight off the bat, there's a couple of things I've already noticed, but so for instance up here, your social signals are not connected to anything. They just go straight over the Facebook. They don't have no Facebook page. Twitter's not even connected to Twitter. It's just going straight to Facebook. LinkedIn's the same. The only one you have connected is Google. You do have click to call on your phone number, click to email on your email, which is good, and then you have your city and state hyperlinked over to the GMB. The one thing you don't have is it doesn't open in a new window. It just leaves the website and goes straight to the GMB, which in my opinion is not a good practice to do unless you're wanting the client to actually leave your website and not stay on your website itself. Now, based off of my experience, this is probably a rank and rent lead generation website. You actually don't do concrete company. You sell the leads. That's okay and everything, but we're going to go through this. So another thing I noticed here with your H2s, if these are proper H2s, I would have the actual text like concrete driveways, concrete patios, concrete foundation hyperlinked to the actual service page. And instead, you have read more, which has nothing to do, it's a generic anchor text. It has nothing to do with what you're actually trying to rank for. That's just me. Call now. This is click to call, which is good. You have another lead capture form here. That's good as well. Contact us. That goes over your contact us page. It's good. And then you have your blog here. It goes over your blog. All right. We'll go through the entire website and show you some other things. So down here, you have areas you service, right? For me, this is not the way I would structure it. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason being is I want Google to know I'm an entity, I'm a business in San Antonio, Texas. I don't want to give any confusing signals, tell them, say, hey, by the way, look at Alamo Heights, look at Alamo Ranch, etc. And what we could do is even go further and go, let's just, out of curiosity, we're going to go to Google and do a search. So just for instance, so Alamo Heights from San Antonio, Texas is 15-minute drive. Not bad. Not too far. It wasn't too crazy. We can do this for all the other locations as well that you have on your website. For example, Hollywood Park. We could go in here and go Hollywood Park. Texas. But what I want you to notice, like this one's 21 minutes away. Let's go to the next one. Let's go Boulevard. Texas. What you'll notice is all of these are anywhere from 30 minutes away, sometimes even further, right? I could go through every one of these, but for instance, let's go Terrell Hills, and let's just pick this one too. I'm just doing this randomly just so you could see this, how far away you are from your location. So the ones that are like within 15 minutes, no problem. But when you get 30 minutes away, it's a problem. And here's why it's a problem. So what we're wanting is we're wanting Google, whenever they see our website, all right, I want them to think of San Antonio, Texas, right? I'm not necessarily going to put all these different cities down here, because then if I put all these cities down here in the bottom of the footer or on contact page, I'm going to confuse the shit out of Google as to where you actually service. Some of these places 30, 40 minutes away. Some of them are right around the corner. That's not a big deal if they're right around the corner. Even then, the way I do it personally is I put them on a post or a page that is not in the menu, that is not in the footer. Google can index it. However, it is not where a client can necessarily find it. The other problem you have with these that you've created, and I don't even have Google Search Console to check it, but if you look at all these pages, they're all the same. Same content, same. The only thing they're really changing is going to be the geo information in the headers and some images. And I will almost guarantee you, if I look at these in your Google Search Console, how many of them are actually indexed. Now, let me show you how the way we do them And generally, they're all indexed the way we do them. Generally speaking, when you look at my location pages, it's not going to simply be, why San Antonio Pros, your Alamo Ranch project, leading Alamo Ranch concrete contractors. It's not verbatim the same, but it's real damn close. Leading Alamo Ranch concrete contractors, right? You're changing the header very, very little. Expert concrete contractors, but the rest of this content is basically the same. Okay, I'd like to see how many of them are actually ranking versus how many are. So, for example, here's how I would do a location page. All right. Yes, it has the H1. Yes, it's a doorway page, but guess what? They get indexed. And why do they get indexed? It's because I have them set up. I have all the services. I have them all linking over to, if you will, their pages, all of the text hyperlink. But then I also put in the neighborhoods here. Then I also put in the bus stops from that area to the GMB, okay? I put in the top sites in the area, right? These are all hyperlinked to their location, to the top sites. And then I put a location map for that actual city or the neighborhood, however you want to build it. At a 90-something% or more of our pages get indexed because even though they're doorway pages, they don't look like it. So there's a couple more things, and we're going to go through them all. So as far as your on page, for example, if I go back to your home page, do you have your Google reviews embedded anywhere on this site? No, I don't have any Google reviews embedded on this site. We usually put them in the footer. You'll see right over here where I have this magical little PDF. It says Google reviews. If you click on that, that will actually take you to a PDF which has all of the reviews for the GMB there, and then they're hyperlinked. At least 20 of them, 20 or so of the reviews, and they're hyperlinked over to the review profile. Okay, we want to do that. Why do we want to do that? Because we're trying to tie as many signals from Google, from the GMB to my website. So Google goes, hey, this GMB correlates with this business. All right, so another factor we're going to take a look at. Let's say, for example, we're going to go down here. Your business name is San Antonio Concrete Pros. Another thing I want to look at whenever I'm looking at all of this is I want to look at, for example, I go to Google and I want to see, do you have a brand established? How do I know do you got a brand established? So when I go to Google you, does your brand name come up, or does Google auto-refer various other keyword phrases or business name or brand name phrases with it? Me knowing this will tell me, for example, do you have a brand established? Does Google recognize your brand? And we'll see very quickly whether or not you do or do not. So you have concrete companies in San Antonio. No, cement company San Antonio. So what we want to see is San Antonio Concrete Pros plus your phone number, plus reviews, plus company information. San Antonio Concrete Pros about us. I want it to refer to a bunch of different things. For example, we could take old company Rank Fortress, and you'll see all these different automations and things where they're automatically referring other keywords to the brand name. That is because they have a brand established. So first thing I'm going to want to do with your brand specifically is get a brand established. So when you don't have a brand established, 6 to 12 months worth of work is what you're looking at. I'm not looking to rank you overnight like a lot of people will try to convince you of. Why? Because if you rank overnight, you will fall overnight. And here's why. Because you're trying to establish an actual company and an actual brand, okay? We want to do things right. We want to set up the website right. We want to set up the content right, and so on and so forth. Let's go ahead and dive into the actual report. So, I mean, for example, if I look at most of your pages, the home page, I'm pretty sure, has a good fair amount of content. So the home page has 1,200 words of content. Good job. Okay. Now, if we went to some of the other services, like let's say concrete patios, and we looked at your word count, you have 649. So if we look at most of your service pages, I'm going to want a good bit of content. Good bit of content for me is about 1,500 words. You have generally anywhere from 400 to 700 words of content. All right. So when we're looking at this, I can look at various things and go, okay, how many words of content do you have? Well, in the actual SEO audit, let's look at that, and I can show you verbatim what you have versus what you don't have. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. So if we look at this SEO audit showing us the site structure, how many links do you have going to that page, etc., which is generally from one page to another. It's internal linking. But what I want to really look at, for example, is going to be your word count. Homepage, you got 1,400. But generally speaking, the rest of them all fall within about 500 words of content, except for 1, 2, 3, 4. So out of 40-something pages, most of them, 90% of them, are below 400 to 500 words of content, 500 words or less. That is not going to help you as far as ranking. What I generally want to see is content in bulk. I want to see, for example, I personally don't believe there's even a, if you will, Google sandbox where Google does not recognize you because you're a new brand. If you use quality content that is helping your visitors, which is ultimately what Google wants. So step one, get more content on this website. We're going to write more content about each of these pages, okay? I don't know how old this site is. Let's take a look at the rankings and see, are you even ranking anywhere? And we can show you, for example, if what you're doing is working, then great. But overall, I think you're going to wind up needing to put content on the site, get the right structure, get on-page SEO right, like internal linking, the services actually linking, like we talked about, the H2s, etc. So for me, I'm not like some huge proponent of backlinks, but overall, I don't think you even have enough backlinks. Let's look at that too. So yeah, as far as your backlinks, you got a total of 5. So we're going to definitely need to start fresh, treating this as a brand new brand, brand new website. Get all your on-page SEO done, get all your internal linking done, get all your content up to par. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at your rankings. We're going to use Local Dominator to check these out for your geogrids. So for the term concrete company near me, you're nowhere to be found. You're like, you have a couple of spots where you're found, but not much. Your overall ranking, average ranking position is 20 plus. Okay, let's go to another one. For the term concrete company, you're 20 plus. Good news is on this one, you're actually found in the parking lot. What do I mean by in the parking lot? I mean in this tiny little area right here. Mind you, this is a 1 mile radius map. This is not even a 5 mile, which is what I normally start with our clients. Want to get your ranking in a 1 mile radius, then to a 5, then to a 10, then to a 15 and 20. Now you may see why it's a problem when you have all these multiple cities on your website and you're not even ranking there. The actual GMB is not even being pulled up in San Antonio. The actual GMB is over here. So that may be another problem. Where's your actual GMB located at? Where was it actually established at? Because that's where Google is going to recognize it at. Okay. So without further ado, let's look at some more things. All right, so we got the map pulled up. Here's one thing I want to give you a hint of is the closer you are to the city center, i.e. dead center in San Antonio, Texas, usually in their city area or downtown area, the easier it is to rank. Your location is going to be northwest of San Antonio. Are you still in San Antonio? Yes. However, that being said, you're not in the city center. So I hope this video has helped you. We went over a little bit of everything, showing you the things that you've done right, the things that you've done wrong, how to improve it. And if you'd like my assistance, just book a call with me and we'll get you started and I'll give you a personal game plan. Me, it's going to be content. So order some of the specials that are about content, 50 to 100K. I want at least 1,500 words of content on every single page. Topical sitemap so I can cover every single topic that Google says is important when it comes to a concrete contractor. That's like $60. The content's like another 60. It's not that expensive. Then get the on-page done, get the Google Core Vitals taken care of, and then after we have that done, Then we're going to start doing the off-page, the press releases, the blog posts, and as well as controlling and managing and optimizing the GMB. Without further ado, you have a great